Hey, welcome back. Yeah, I'm sad that I'm not sad. I wish Jimmy Lightning was better. I don't really like the multi-ball, but he's my favorite character. Look at him. He's like a little gopher with a skateboard. It's cool. The other guy I use sometimes is the dragon. I don't like this guy. This guy, I don't like that guy. That guy's dumb. I don't like this guy. Yeah, I only ever really used. Actually, he's probably my third favorite. This is my favorite. Then I like this guy. Then I like Jimmy. Jimmy Lightning. It's a funny name. No, wait. A spooky ball. So I was going to talk about some Christianity stuff today, I guess. Because one of Dalton's, my stupid sync, one of Dalton's comments, I liked it, and I was talking to him, and it made me think of stuff to talk about. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Well, okay. So my therapist, I was talking to her about Christian Mingle, and being like, well, I don't really know if I'll like Christian Mingle because like I'm not like a normal Christian, and I don't. And then she's like, oh, what do you mean normal Christian? And then I was like, I don't know. I'm just like, I didn't really say anything, and she kind of filled in the blanks. She was like, well, you mean like you like gay people and you're like more progressive? And I was like, yeah, kind of. And she's like, well, there are progressive Christians. Like, I know a Christian, and her son is gay, and everything's fine. But when I say, like, I'm not a normal Christian, I mean, like, I don't think heaven exists. Like, I don't know, like, my sink is, it, like, barfs. I think I like broke I never had a garbage disposal before, and I think I broke it, so now every once in a while the sink will just throw up like stuff, and it'll be like an inch of water with like celery and or like lettuce and meat. I'm like, oh. So I have to call the freaking repairman, and I don't know what this is. I'm sorry I broke your garbage disposal. I don't know how to use it. But that was the thing that I was talking to Vault about, was heaven. And one of the big things about Christianity is, like, if you're Christian, obviously you go to heaven. If you believe in Jesus and all that stuff. And most, like, I would say 99.99% of Christians believe in heaven, and then 99.99% of those people would say, when you go to heaven, like, you remember your family. You remember stuff on earth that happens. Like, what would be the point of heaven if you didn't remember earth stuff? And I'm like, heaven probably doesn't exist, and if it does, I don't think you get to keep your memories. First of all, scientifically, I know it's like, well, with Jesus you could do anything or whatever, but okay, somebody isn't knocking at my door. Okay, who is that knocking on my door? That could be kind of like a fun social anxiety parody of Edgar Allan Poe. All the kids would love that, right? Who is that knocking on my door? Go away. I don't want to talk to you. I have anxiety, and I don't like you. I don't care if you're like a raven and like you symbolize death or whatever. Like, just leave me alone. Okay. I'm getting really sidetracked today. Okay, I'm just going to shoot it and I'm going to read it. How can I be in a relationship with a Christian if I don't believe those kind of things? Or if I just don't even know? I don't look at the world through a Christian lens. It's less interesting that way, even if it means it would make you happy. Example, finger prune. Oh yeah, I want to talk about that. Religious thinking, end state. I wanted to finish the point about heaven. Oh yeah, heaven. Your memories are stored in your brain, and when you die, your brain dies. Okay, so there's one little thing. If you're a Christian, you might be like, oh, but like maybe God stores memories in your soul or something. Okay. I still don't believe that you would keep your memories in heaven, even if that was the case, because heaven is supposed to be a perfect place, right? And if you had memories of yourself, like you did these things, there's a possibility for guilt and fear and shame which would not exist in heaven, right? If you killed somebody and you went to heaven, there's still the possibility for guilt if you could remember that, because you're like, you did that, your soul did that. But if you couldn't remember it, then that's the only way for perfection to exist in heaven, is to have no memory of being imperfect. Jesus can do it because he was always perfect. And you might say like, oh, well, like when you get to heaven, you realize that God forgives you. But there are Christians on earth today who believe that God forgives them, and they still have shame and fear and guilt. And anxiety of like, oh, what if I tell this person like I murdered somebody? Are they going to judge me? That cannot happen in heaven, because that's anxiety and fear and worry, and that stuff, if heaven is perfect, that stuff doesn't exist there. Worrying is like technically a sin. It says in the Bible you're not supposed to worry, so and sin can't be in heaven, so that's my reasoning. I don't believe if heaven exists that you keep your memories there. It would be nice if you could remember like your wife or whatever, but I don't think it's possible. And if heaven is perfect, then it doesn't really matter anyway. Like everybody is your wife, I guess. And Jesus is your wife. I don't think it ever says in the Bible that you get to keep your memories anyway. I think it's just something people like to think. Jesus never said it. Okay, that's the other thing. If I say like, oh, I don't believe in heaven, and I don't even believe in God, and I don't believe in, like, how am I even a Christian? Well, I feel like going to church is good, and it's good to have a community, and I like everything that Jesus said, so that's why I'm a Christian. I don't feel like it in any kind of a real sense that makes me any less of a Christian, but I don't know if I could be with anybody who is like a real Christian in a relationship, because they would be like, you don't believe in heaven? And I'd be like, well, I don't know, but like, you know what heaven is like? Yes, because it says in the Bible. Okay, well, that's where we disagree, because I don't think, I guess that's the main thing, probably, between the difference between me and a normal Christian is like, I'm not a literal Bible person. I think the Bible was written by humans who are flawed and can have flaws, and it contains the best knowledge of humanity and our best stories, like up to that point, but it doesn't all literally apply to everybody, literally. It doesn't make you a bad person if you're gay just because it says it in the Bible. if I took a literal interpretation of the Bible, I would have to say that being gay is wrong. And that does not seem right to me, so I cannot do that. And there's a ton of stuff in the Old Testament that I told you I hated, like Moses killing 1,000 people. Like, being gay is such a weird thing that we all latch onto, but like, Moses killed 1,000 people just for building a golden calf. He couldn't have just told them, like, okay, that was bad, don't do that. He murdered them, and God was okay with it. I talked about that before. Okay, what's the last note about? Christianity. This is something I've kind of talked about before, and I want to talk about it more. There is an element of Christianity that kind of scares me, which is this element of like self-brainwashing that you have to do to be like a real Christian. You have to pray every day, and you have to read the Bible every day. You have to think about God every day. If I did that with any other religion, I would be able to believe it just as much as I believed Christianity. So that makes, so like by that logic, you'd say, well, you're just brainwashing yourself. A Christian would say like, no, but it's like good brainwashing. Because like God is real. But how do I know God is real? Oh, you know God is real by praying every day and reading the Bible and trusting God. Like it's that begging the question circular logic that never works for me. Get in there. You know what you need for this one? You need my boy Bjorn. Because, okay, I'll show you Bjorn's special ability today. Oh, I don't even need it. The problem is that the orange pegs sometimes get stuck underneath the balls, and you can't, but that didn't happen this time, so. Oh, this one. That one might be tough. Okay, so let's try to get down there. So does that brainwashing thing make sense? Like, I don't know. I know Dalton will agree with me on this point. But I wonder what Christians think sometimes. I know Dalton's like not a... Sometimes I wish I had like more Christians in here to talk to. Because I think like it would be an interesting conversation. Okay, so I'm kind of screwed here. That one right there. See that peg there? That's going to be hard to get. And this one tells you where it's going to go. Give me the green, give me the green, give me the green. Give me the green, give me the green. I don't know what, I'm just going to do that. See what happens. There is never a satisfying answer to that self-brainwashing question. Like, the only way to truly feel connected to God or Jesus or whatever is to just read the Bible every day and to pray every day and to always think about everything like about Jesus. But if I thought the same way about the Quran and Muhammad, I would be able to feel the same way because I would be thinking about it every day and I'd be like brainwashing myself like, okay. So that's why, well, I guess as a Christian, I feel like it's good to take breaks from Christianity. I don't know. Just to like make sure it holds up to a break. Like maybe I shouldn't go to church for a month or something and see if I still feel the same way about Jesus, or like don't read the Bible for a month. The other aspect is like you want to always surround yourself with Christian people. The element that's kind of like a cult vibe to it, but like I want to get more into the idea of the brainwashing thing of like if you're telling yourself the same thing and you're reading the same book every day, it doesn't matter what book it is, you're gonna believe it and you're gonna think it's the most important book in the world because you're reading it every day. You're creating cognitive dissonance, and I think some people even recognize that, but they're like, I want that. I want that cognitive dissonance. I want to believe that God is real and that Jesus loves me. And if I stay away from the Bible for too long, I start to doubt it. So that's why I need to be in it every day, because I want to believe it. I can never get past that point of well, if I want to believe it, but is it really true? I don't care what I want. I want to know what's true. For religion, obviously, you can never know, so you're never going to be satisfied. So should you just brainwash yourself? Part of me thinks sometimes yes. But I am still too afraid to commit all the way to something like that. And the reason why I'm afraid to do that is because I see other Christians who do it, and they're terrible people. The people who commit too hard and they follow the Bible too literally, they're the worst people. They're like the super conservative, like even like Westboro Baptist-y, super fundamental literalists. And those people seem like the worst people in the world to me. And what do? They read the Bible every day. They're Pharisees. They're modern-day Pharisees. They know the Bible very, very well. But so did the Pharisees. And Jesus freaking hated them. When I see people, and maybe I'm wrong, when I see people who are super literal and legalistic, I see a Pharisee. Someone who's like, you can't be gay no matter what. Because there's one verse in the Bible. I see Pharisee. I don't see any openness to love and what Jesus taught about. Not to mention, Jesus never said that you can't be gay, but I wonder what I would feel if Jesus was like, ew, gay people, they're gross. I might not even be a Christian, though, if he said that. Because I do kind of go, every time I read the Bible, I think, like, okay, every time Jesus talks, let's listen and see if I don't like it. And I don't think it's ever happened. But I wonder if he was like, if there was one verse in the Bible where he's like, ugh, you're gay, that's weird. Would I be like, oh no, Jesus, you're a bad person. Anyway, I think I'm done. Why you be bad, Jesus? Let's finish this level. I'm gonna die anyway. Jesus, I'm suffering. I'm gay, and people hate me. Have you ever considered like stop being gay? Because it's like gross. You're right. I should stop being gay. You fixed my world. I wonder what Jesus would say. I mean, I know what I think Jesus would say, but I wonder what he would really say if a gay person came up to him and was like, I'm gay, like, what should I do? And the Bible says don't be gay, so what do you think I should do? To me, I know what I think, but I really shouldn't say this because I don't know what he would say. And I might be totally wrong. But I feel like he would say, if you truly love somebody, you're not doing something that God doesn't want you to do. You have to obviously examine it. Maybe it's not love. It's hard to figure out. Love is one of the hardest things to figure out. But if you figure out that you really love this person, God can't not be there. Love is the most important thing to God. So if you love them, God wants that. How could he not? And be like, whoa, I wish I don't know. I mean, Jesus did say a lot of mind-blowing things, but that would be super mind-blowing if he said that. I think our culture would be totally different if he did. I wish he did. But back in those days, everybody was too afraid of gayness anyway, so nobody would even feel comfortable enough. Someone would come up to Jesus and be like, hey, I'm gay, like, what should I do? And before Jesus could say anything, the gay person would just be dead by stoning. Everybody around him would just, like, Jesus would be like, no, wait, you weren't supposed to do that. But he's gay, we're supposed to stone him, right? No. Even the disciples would be like, Peter would be the first one to throw a rock at him. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.